the wrap.
That was great. Man, I still got to apologize because in my head, I've been calling her Dayoni for about a year and a half. And so midway through, I'm just going to say Day because I can't. My mind couldn't keep one, and that's 100% my fault. It's when you've read somebody's name so many times. And I'm like, everyone calls you Day, and I'm like, no one really said it out loud in front of me that many times. I just read it and just roll myself Dayoni.
At least you were close. I get like Danani, Da'ani, like a lot of stuff.
And I'm like trying. Fine. I'm just like Day.
I heard you.
Did you guys know, like when you started, especially at Liberty, did you actually beforehand, was it a goal to get to college cheer when you started? Or was it just like, hey, we're just going to join cheer? Because even when I first think about cheer, I didn't necessarily think same like basketball, like, oh, I'm doing this to get to the next level. Like in Milwaukee, our cheer wasn't on the level. Like we didn't have tumbling and stuff. We just had normal cheer.
Right.
So there was no next level. You just cheered in high school, then you went on. But this is like actual high level competitive cheer. So did you guys go into it thinking about that? Or was it more like, hey, let's see where this goes?
In middle school, I wasn't thinking about college cheer at all. When I first started cheer, because at first when I started cheer, I didn't think I was going to do cheer. I was like, this is corny. But I fell in love with it. And in middle school, I wasn't thinking this far ahead. But come maybe like I want to say like sophomore year, around the time when COVID happened, a show named Navarro came out on Netflix. And I was like, college cheer. I was like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So I think maybe like sophomore year of high school, I started thinking I wanted to cheer at a collegiate level. But prior to that, no.
It was like in middle school, like, oh, I want to join the high school cheer team. I saw like Liberty posted their requirements, whatever. I was like, I can do it, or whatever. I made the team. I was like, oh my gosh. And then junior year came along, and they were like sending things about like recruiting for high school or for college cheer. I was like, what the heck? I was like, there's more of this. It was like, okay, do I do this? And it just kind of fell into place senior year.
I remember you telling me too. I remember asking you.
Like I created an account for like college like recruiting or whatever because Val was doing it.
Yeah.
But she didn't go for cheer. She did acro and tumbling. So I was like, okay, there's like something out there.
I thought about acro and tumbling too for a sec.
I say, Dad must have given you a crazy workout where you were like, no more basketball. I'm going cheer.
When I quit, he wasn't my coach anymore. It was like maybe a year or two after.
Brandon's a tough coach and a tough team. We won a lot when she was playing, so it was easy and fun. And then I think once reality hit, because I don't coach him.
Right.
I don't train him, but I only coach him. I let him coach him. And then straight, they struggled.
Yeah.
So reality.
It was, I had a tournament before. Coach didn't play me, he had like 5 games, like a tournament. He didn't play me once. He maybe played me at the end of 2 games for like 3 minutes. And then I did like women's basketball. And then I did it for a season. I was like, I don't really like this.
So what is cheer like now, kind of with your dad talking about, the training of individuals? Basketball is a team sport, but for a lot of it, it's very individual. Like if you put in the work, you can get there. Cheer, I feel like, is a mixed bag because you do so much group stuff that does involve like the support of all the people beneath you and in these different routines. Like, how do you separate being an individual? Because you could be the top performer, and if everyone else isn't on their P's and Q's, it's going to make you look bad. How do you guys kind of handle that?
I don't know. I feel like what cheer is saying like, oh, you're just as weak as you're just as strong as your weakest player. Like that's so true with cheer. So I don't know. I think what helps us be on the same level, or at least for right now, is the fact that our coaches state all the time how none of our spots are guaranteed. So having that in the back of your head, everyone's trying to do better. So I think the fact that they're keeping us on our toes, everyone's trying to just be the best them that they can be. So having us all put in the best that we can is, I don't know, keeping everyone kind of on the same level.
I think it's more like you do your job, I'll do mine. Like everyone has to do their job, and you just have to trust that your other teammates are going to do theirs, because that's the only way it's going to work, because you can't be inside their body. You can't make 20 of you to make sure everyone does their job. Like you just have to trust your team.
Is there any piece of cheer that you feel you'll carry with you post-college? Whether it's the things you learn. So it's not necessarily saying like, hey, do you want to train or coach or do something after that? But what do you think is like the biggest piece of cheer that you're like, helps you grow into the person you are that you're going to take with you? So for me, for example, like going through high school, playing AU basketball in the summers, I got to see places I would have never seen before. I was from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, had never really left the city before that, didn't have the financial support to, but basketball gave me the ability to travel across the country and even outside the country, see places and really expand my mind into all the other opportunities there were that before you see it on TV and the movies, but until you're like out there really touching it, you don't know it's like a real thing. So being able to have those experiences like change my whole life, and that's probably the biggest thing I took away from my entire basketball experience. When you guys look at cheer, what is that thing that, whether it's, and I think the team aspect too, again, getting to grow with like a close group of guys throughout your high school career, like I think really changed. Where I think most kids that just go to school and have some friends, it's not the same because you're like, you're not bonding in that same way because we're taking wins and losses every
day
at a very high level. What do you guys think from cheer that you're going to take even after you're done with college, like through the rest of your life?
I think I have a couple things. So first, I know for sure just learning how to work with people. Like, I know you're not going to like everyone all the time, but in cheer, we're on a team of 30 plus girls. So you're learning how to work with people from different backgrounds, different races, different cultures, different opinions. And just being on the team with these girls every single day, seeing each other every single day, you have to learn how to work with people. So I'm going to take that away for sure. And then also just, I don't know, with me cheering for so long, I kind of like instilled in myself that I do stuff for me and not for anybody else or for validation or for applause. So I think I'll take away just doing stuff because it makes me happy, not because I'm looking to get something out of it.
I think it mean like chasing the thrill, because like competing and like doing something and like getting score and like seeing how well you did, that I don't know, it just makes me so happy. So I feel like that's gonna be something I'm gonna try to figure out how to put into my life, because I don't think I could cheer forever.
If I could give you guys feedback on high school cheer, the only thing I would have done differently is in you guys' routines, separated you guys, because when I'm recording you, it's so hard to get both of you guys in the highlight because you're both going like at the same time. I'm trying to pick and switch back between you guys. I got to space you guys out like a act one, act two. Like you let act one go, and then you do some fill in between. Then you hit them with act two. Like you guys were always like one after the other, and it was always like bam, bam. But it was good. Like when I look back at those videos, it gets the crowd going crazy because it's like one thing that they don't expect, and then the second that's done, the second one comes and they hit them with something else. Everybody, like, again, especially that starting game, which was my introduction to like Las Vegas cheer and high school basketball. It was actually bad because it started me at this high point. I'm like, man, every game is about to be like,
and it's not.
Cheerleader, go win.
And that's the thing is we get like a timeout. How long are timeouts? Maybe like 30 seconds. So you get 30 seconds to just do what you got to do, whether that's a stunt or a tumbling pass. And it has to, that's all you get. That's all you get for the whole game. It's like quick 30-second. And then also, like you said, not every game is like that. So for me personally, I feed off of a crowd.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I did whatever I did in that video, is because I was feeding off of the energy in the crowd. So like when you don't have a crowd, you still have to go just as hard, even though it's just a bunch of parents sitting there looking at you, just staring at you, like looking at you crazy. I know you just got to kind of do your part, even when no one's watching.
Yeah, I think there were some tough battles. I look back at the Coronado games too. And you mentioned that 30 seconds. Somehow those timeouts turned into like a minute, 2 minutes, because you guys are going back and forth. There were players coming on the court, and you guys are still trying to get one more rep in, and it's that. Yeah,
I think it's funny that like people know this now, because we've done it for like this is all we did. Like my freshman year, that's all we did. And we have a teammate now that's on UNLV cheer. She was a senior when I was a freshman on the team. She was doing that stuff like over and over again. Like it was the normal. And so it's just
like
fun.
No one like got exposed for it until so long. Because like you say, like her name was Jordan, rawest girl in the world. Like she never got exposed for what she did when she, like you say, she's been killing the game for years. It's just no one ever took the chance to even give us the time of day until you came along. Like you say, like people came, like ball dogs came, and no one ever gave us the time of day. Like not even, you might see a little palm when someone's going for a free throw, but that's all you get. So you gave us like the time of day, and people noticed that. And now people like I just remember people being at school like, oh yeah, I saw the video last night. I'm like, oh, I mean, this is what we've been doing, you guys. Y'all are just now realizing it.
Yeah, I definitely think cheer and dance and that kind of like that co-squad group are definitely undervalued and underexposed. Like, again, when I first started coming to games, and then I'd see some other camera folks at the game, you know, they record the game, and as soon as a timeout happens, as soon as halftime happens, cameras off, they're getting a snack, they're getting a drink, and I'm watching. Again, that was my first game, timeout happens, I'm like, there's still action going on. Like, like technically the game's still going. Like, there was still stuff to kind of film. So that was kind of my take on like, hey, there are athletes still competing in their sport. Like, now is not the time to just stop. And so no, I think what you guys did was amazing. Again, that like it brought me into the game, like those battles, me being able to remember that, the Coronado games, state championship, the Utah trip, like those battles back and forth, like, and that's why even when I made that first video, it was to the song from You Got Served. That's one of my original favorite and the dance movies. And it was that idea of kind of that back and forth of like, what do you got? Okay, here's what I got. And you guys, like, it was more than just what I remembered in high school, just the regular cheer and like, jump up, Drew, jump up. Like, that was our cheers. Like, that's, I can remember. That we had, that was it. But you guys brought like a whole nother level of like dynamic talent. And then like throwing in the acrobatics and the like tumbling and stuff was awesome. I think the last thing I think of when I think to you guys' season, and again, it was special to me because I was a part of it. You guys did a fundraiser, and you guys had the younger kids come in and do. And I brought my 5-year-old Dora, and she still has these little palms in the closet. We wear that little shirt like every other week. Like, I think even when I asked the question, like, talking to other young girls, I think the stuff that you guys do and that you did like really affects whether you see it or not, like that younger generation coming up. Like, and I think they look up to you guys. And even with Dora, like she would come to the games, she's like,
I remember her video say cheer with the phones.
like it's a real thing. And I think same with basketball and other sports, like getting athletes and the youth started early and exposed to those things earlier on, letting them know like that this is an opportunity that I can start doing. Again, I think only helps. And again, she loves it, even if it's just for fun. Right. After that, we joined, it's somewhat on the same thing, but from watching you guys' flips, we've been doing, I don't know, it's called the Gym Rats. Gym Cats. We've been doing Gym Cats since the week after that. She just wanted, she's like, how can I, and we're in the living room. I bought her one of these, things you blow up that you flip on, because she wanted to do the stuff she saw and that they were doing. And so I'm in the living room, and I'm like, how can I do this? I'm like, let me look up somebody that can actually show her. And we've been going to that, but that came from watching you guys do those things. She's like, oh, Daddy, dude, show me, throw me. And I'm like, I'm going to kill her. Right. Let a professional start this. But again, we wouldn't have looked up Gym Cats or started that whole thing if it wasn't for her getting that experience with you guys and having, like, watching you guys do it, like, at a high level and going.
Those are so much fun.
And I also think that, like, having you record, like, I really appreciate that you made those videos, because I just think, aside from just saying, oh, what cheer can do, just seeing, like, people that look like you.
Right.
Like, cheer is not a predominantly African-American sport. When you think of a cheerleader, that's not what you think of. So seeing, like, girls who look like you and they're good, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like something to look at, because, like, as a kid, even when I was, like, cheering, you know, there's maybe, like, one girl I can think of that comes to my head, like, I want to be like that cheerleader. So seeing girls that look like you just makes the world of a difference.
Yeah, and I think it's a huge difference in the sports world. Again, I can't name a professional cheerleader, right? Like, knowing the names, like, knowing the people behind it. Like, I can tell you about general cheer, but I can't say this person. I think I know one, and it was just from the smaller Las Vegas circle, one of the Raiders cheerleaders that I met, like, in an event here. But, like, being able to, like, it's just like a basketball player, right? If I can name high school athletes in basketball, I should be able to name the top high school cheer athletes as well. Like, I feel like it should be the same thing. So I think you guys deserve everything and more of, like, continuing to put that out there. Hopefully at UNLV, now you guys will really, again, because you're on the biggest stages, and as the UNLV, like, basketball team continues to do well, like, it'll bring you guys with and hopefully continue to shed spotlight on everything that you guys are doing.
I think it will. Just the environment's just a little different. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I said, the environment. And when we're at cheer, everything's just like so much bigger than just high school. You don't really realize it until you're in it.
They work good. It's a wrap.
But with the big dog, what you got?
And it's funny when like we're going against these girls and now we're cheering with them at UNLV.
Yeah.
It's like Earl was the girl who we were tumbling against in the video, and now it's like we're super close.
So basketball is the same way, like especially in like AAU, like you'll have like beef with somebody, and then a year that they transfer schools or they joined your team.
Right.
Now you guys are on the same circus. Like you guys, they kind of spoiled it too. Like
We came in too hot.
you came in too hot. Cause I go to these other games, I'm like, all right, it's halftime, it's timeout.
What we say, I would say all the time, like I would like, Drew know where the best team's at.
I would go talk to cheerleaders and other teams, like, hey, are you guys gonna go do something? I'm gonna take some photos and stuff. And they're like,
He wouldn't access it. I'm like, hey Drew,
I'm like,
and we're going.
I thought this was what it was. I'm like,
That's what literally what.
yeah,
That's a trend.
Oh, for sure.
Those videos, the cheer videos was getting more views than the basketball video. So I mean, it was something that was there. Nobody just never touched.
And it was just different.
Yeah, one video, 50,000 views.
yeah.
50,000 views.
There was another big one.
Liberty cheer page.
Oh,
Yeah, the college did that. There was,
she took one of your pictures and made it the cover.
Yeah.
Was that the one?
That was from
It was
Utah.
it
that was
like,
the Utah one.
it was like
Yeah.
literally a video of someone stunting, but it was like tumbling and tumbling and tumbling, and it got so many views.
But she used like your picture as like the
But it's
cover of it.
definitely like Taylor.
Girls
She
was
just
way too. This is just nobody ever touched it.
Yeah.
To bring it to the
And you brought light to it. I appreciate it for sure.
Trend.
So I think if we continue it, right? Unfortunately for you guys, you caught it like right at the tail end of it starting, but now you just gotta like stay on top of it. Because again, there's no reason they don't deserve the same credit and accolades as everyone else. Because again, even just watching other schools, not everybody takes it seriously, but like it's undervalued. Like people don't even notice. I feel like cheerleaders have the time. Like you're at the game, it's kind of like they're there, but they're at all the games and football out in the
Hours
cold.
early.
And like
Like we have to be at football games now 4 hours before the
Yeah.
game starts. That's
pep rallies and the
Yeah, I went to the UNLV sports page. They had every team on there except for cheer. I'm like,
we have to fundraise and cheer's expensive. Cheer's an expensive sport. So if anything, we should be. Here he is. we should be the ones getting funded for, That's how you do fundraising. Like Little Patriots, we're doing that at UNLV.
Yeah, yeah.
It's another. I mean, we're doing like.
No, that was
15.
smart because Dora loved that. Like that
Really?
was yeah.
so you used to play AAU?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so from Wisconsin, from Milwaukee, I played for Friends of Hoop back when. So George Karl was the head coach for the Milwaukee Bucks, and so we were sponsored by the Milwaukee Bucks, and that was his program. Then when he went out to Denver, Friends of Hoop moved out there. But so I was fortunate enough for 3 years to be on for no reason, like a paid traveling team where they paid for. Because I had no money to travel or do anything, so I got the opportunity to practice at the the Cousin Center. It's where the Bucks practice, and then travel and go. We come out here for big time every year, and sports is without sports, I don't know what I'm doing. Definitely not being here, not this.
That's why you got this going on.
Yeah, I have just a baby sports background. So I played in high school. I played at a D3 college, UW Stevens Point. But high school was that was my ceiling. We were fourth in the nation, USA Today. We won 2 back-to-back state championships. Our accolade, the thing our crowning moment, is we broke St. Vincent St. Mary's 4-year win streak. I started like that. So that's LeBron James High School. Then I throw on the caveat of the asterisk at the end. We broke the streak the year he left. As soon as he left, we were the first. We were the first team to play him.
A win's a win.
So after he graduated, we were the first team to play there.
A win is a win.
So we flew out.
the lean grip.
Yeah. Oh, you're not.
The win.
Nobody's touching.
So wait for him to leave.
Yeah. So the second he graduated, we went up there.
Thank you.
Did that one.
A win is a win.
But hey, you can You put that in the red.
What are you gonna get busy?
Yeah. Yeah, they were too. He was.
Man, I'm already knowing.
This is a mark.
It's okay. Win is a win.
Yeah.